Oakley Dokley. Welcome back, everybody, to the one, the only, the Sammys and Beer podcast, live here on this wonderful Wednesday. We appreciate you all so much for stopping by. Um, we are live on Twitch. We are live on YouTube. You can find us both there at Sammy's and Beer. Um, we do also have, if you want to chat with me, go to Twitch. If you want to chat with Thomas, go to YouTube. If you'd like to discuss horses, the names of them, the types, the colors, whatever it is that horse people talk about, Thomas is there to talk to you uh, and give you all of the information. So, with me, as always, is the cowboy himself, Tommaso Rincon. Horses are super gay. Yep. Instead of just buying the stuff yourself, they have to put it in a bag for you. That way you know it's good. It could just be him fucking throwing the shit that he doesn't want anymore in there. Like, oh, these are my favorite drinks. Yeah. Oh, there you go. Two full shots. You will. You will. Don't buzzballs have alcohol in them? Anywho, I'm living the dream. Yeah, should be a fun weekend. Yeah, let's let's do that. Okay. Okay. Happy birthday, Gabe. Gabe. Yeah, that's what I said. Sweet. Was it a flaccid shaped object? Oh. Well, I believe it's a law, but who's enforcing it? You know, I mean, all right. So my shot goes out to the kid that passed out at my son's chorus concert last night. You took a super boring event and you made it exciting. And even better, they just kept going. The girl next to him was like, "Oh my God, what do I do?" And then was like, "Oh, just keep singing," and stood in front of him. So, cheers to you guys for making the show better. I asked my kid, I'm like, "Did anybody make fun of him at school for fainting yesterday?" Oh, he wasn't in school today. Oh, just too embarrassed. Could be. Will we? Okay. If you're bringing stuff for it, I just don't. I won't. I don't have room to bring stuff. So yeah, I just I got to bring work stuff and all that fun jazz. Yeah, I did not. This the State of the Union address. He likes round numbers. I'm gonna go with $2,000. $2,000. Nice. I was pretty close. Only $224 off. Well, how much did you say he's giving? Okay, I wanted to make sure you got that. Yeah, good for you. You never know with Trump. Yeah, I'll just living the dream, getting ready for Christmas. Well, and traveling 12 hours and it compounds on it, but nope, it's right about 12. Yeah, my son's been working on his homework all night tonight to try and get it so we can leave early on Friday and get there Friday night. Yeah, yeah, the youngest doesn't have homework. Yeah. Oh, am I ever. Okay. Okay. Am I breaking? Mm. I'm gonna bring guns. I'm gonna go find as much ammo and guns as I can carry, and then uh, I'm gonna disagree with you. After reading the 2 week curse, it got him real far. It did. Well, obviously, it has to be guns that I own. If I only have an hour to get them, I can't go to the store. So, no, you ever have you bought a gun lately? Don't you have to go through a background check? Yeah, it doesn't. That's not a lot of time. Unless I just go stand in the store and be like, "Sir, can I hold all these guns and ammunition for, I mean, yeah, it's not that quick though. I mean, it took longer for us to get our bow set up than the last time I bought a gun. Huh? I mean, it was like a half an hour. So, um, but no, I'd just probably take the 308 and as much ammo as I could carry. Well, maybe the 223, just because I have a lot more ammo for it. And then I'd get a backpack. I'd get a backpack with, like essential stuff, fire starters and some food, some beef jerky, bedroll, you know. Yeah. Just stuff like that, so that way I could kind of set up like a base camp. But I think you're really underestimating how powerful a gun could be. Why? You said I'm coming back to this time and place. Like, be married for 12 years and then come talk to me about it. It's it has nothing to do with whether you love your wife. Like I'm going on an epic adventure in a fantasy world for 10 years. Like I want to go explore and, like when knights go out, did they bring the family with them? Did they bring their wives with them? I mean, you've heard the story of Christopher Columbus. Was it Christopher Columbus and his wife Margaret? I don't know. Name Okay. Name one famous explorer you know that has a wife. John Stamos is not a famous explorer, and I'm pretty sure he's single. And I'm pretty sure he's single. Yeah. For how long? It's 8 years. It is, but he's also not a famous explorer. He's an actor. Quit being stupid. You're sounding like a liberal. I feel that. Uh, Robux. Are you talking for my kid? Oh, your nephews? So you do one of two things. You either go with something extremely dangerous that's going to be a lot of fun, like a slingshot, a knife. Yeah. A bow and arrow. You know, I would say stuff to let them be men versus little kids. You could do that. Get him one of get him one of those push-up boards. You want you want to make his year. Get him some Playboys. Just say it. I think we've talked about it, but go ahead. Yep. Yeah. He was learning. You know. I mean, I would say he's more of an explorer than John Stamos. Yep. I don't have to. Yep. If anything, I get to give you a high five and maybe point you in the right direction. What does he whisper? You broke up there. Ah, yeah. Hmm. For sure. That's part of being an uncle. Yeah. Tell them to quit being pussies and get into wrestling. Yeah, I don't have an issue with hockey. It's just so fucking expensive. Yeah, hockey's super cool. And definitely breaking down barriers being Mexican playing hockey. There's not a lot of. I don't think there's a bad state to be in for football. Maybe California. But even like, did you know California puts out some of the world's toughest wrestlers? Yeah, yeah. San Diego. Yeah, yeah. No, they. I think like the top. I know for sure they're in the top 5 states, and they might be one of the hardest states to win a state title in. So even if you have daughters, I put them in wrestling. Women's wrestling is a fast-growing sport. No, but as having a daughter, if you have a daughter, do you want her getting stared at by grown men, or do you want her to be able to pull a double leg and ground and pound the fuck out of some grown men? when you started standing up. Yeah, I agree, but at the exact same time, like that is the least, like the most, but also the least combative sport. Like you've taken, like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, you've taken, and I'm not trying to talk smack about the sport because I know that it's hard. I know that it's, requires a lot of training. But at the exact same time, I'm going to talk a lot of smack about it because any sport that a go-to move is sitting down on your butt and letting the other person come at you is not a good combat sport. It's just not. Yeah, yeah. I mean, like I tell my boys with wrestling, if one guy can hold you down, two guys can fuck you. So you learn real quick not to, so you learn real quick not to get held down by one dude. You know? You know? Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know. Hmm. Nice. Yeah. He didn't want to sell it to you. Yeah. Oh yeah, it's way too much for something you drink. Mhm. That's not super old with soda. Yeah, I agree. I just like only thing I tell people is like if you want to not be hungover, just don't drink it with a ton of soda. Whatever you drink. Well, I mean, alcohol dehydrates you, and then adding sugar on top of that, it just versus if you drink it with if and that's where I like to go to like a cloudy or a press, where it's water and then just a splash at the top, so you get some of that soda flavor, but you're also drinking half water with whiskey. Oh, I was like, I'm not doing fucking soda water and lime with whiskey. Yep. Yep. Well, one, I went to bed, you know, Grant, but well, and it's funny now, like Friday night, uh, one of the guys that we're friends with, they've got kids around our age. He calls me and he's like, "Hey, we're gonna have some people over to the house tonight. Just have a few beers." He goes, "Nothing. we've already eaten supper, so no food or anything. I was like, cool, I'm making supper right now. We'll be over afterwards. Went over there. There's I think four families, and I got over there at about 7. Everybody was gone by 9:30. We had all drank our beers, and fucking everybody's like, "All right, kids are winding up. Let's get out of here." So like, yeah, 10 o'clock, we're driving home. You know, and yeah, I had like 3 or 4 beers. I mean, nothing crazy, but no, no, yeah, yeah, and it was funny because then we actually went and had beers last night after wrestling practice, and he's the guy that I've learned not to keep up with. So we went, me and one of our other buddies met him at the bar, and they sell those big mugs, 32 ounces. We each had one, and then the waitress comes by, or waiter, and he's like, "Oh, you guys want another one?" We're like, We'll do a small one." The guy that we were with, we had one tall one and one small one. He had 3 tall ones in the same amount of time. It's nuts. Absolutely nuts to me. Yeah. And I learned after the first time with him, like, you drink at your pace, I'm gonna drink at mine. I have nothing to prove. Yeah, I don't either. Nice. Hmm. Oh, that's cool. Heck yeah. That sounds dope. Yeah, you don't go through that very fast though. Yeah. Hells yeah. Hmm. It's for sure an investment for them. You know. Yeah. Yeah. I'm well aware. I've hustled you more than once. I wouldn't say I am either. I just ask the right questions. Did you know lawyers have an official title? You don't know what it is? So when you become a lawyer, you are an esquire. Hmm. Esquire is lawyer. So how people can some people can put doctorate. If you ever have somebody that signs something esquire, it's because they're an attorney. Nice. Heck yeah. moving to. Oh, I was really hoping Carlos was still in El Paso. Yeah, I know. We talked about it, but I was hoping he was still in El Paso. I was going to hook him up with a buddy of mine's kid who's just got there on Monday. Just finished AIT training, and he got the option of going directly to his base, which is in El Paso, or he could get his 2 week leave and then come back to where he did basic. And then they're like, and then we'll get him there at some point. And so he was like, well, I could have to go back there, take my 2 weeks off, and then I might have to wait a month before I get to go. And he's like, he's like, sorry, mom and dad, I'm not coming home for Christmas. I got to do this. And they understood. I thought he was going as a diesel mechanic, but I can't be sure. And he's trying to do like all the fancy stuff. Like I think he wants to be a ranger, and, and he's a wrestler. So I mean, like when he sets his mind to something, he's too stupid to quit, which is a wrestling trait. So yeah, yeah. No, I think if he wants it, which I think he does, like he got selected like out of like 150 applicants for combat training because of his wrestling skills. And just to show you the dedication of this dude, he was walking around weight of about 150, 155, and the team needed him because they had a 155, they had a 144. They needed him to wrestle at 138. He wrestled at 138 all fucking season and was absolutely fucking miserable because he couldn't fucking eat anything. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, no, for sure. He's got that mentality. And now after basic and his AIT training, guess how much he's walking around at for weight? That's about right. Yep. Just yoked. Like eating what he wants and fucking just working out all day long. Yep. Except I talk to his parents, so I don't say one of those things. So yeah. Find himself a little senorita. I think those are everywhere. Ooh. Corn says hi. And he also he enjoys your mustache as well. Nope, he said, "My God, it's been a while. He's gotten a mustache." And I need to look at my chat more because he was back when we were talking about looking at boobs, and he was talking about the classic boob search. And he also said karate. I really don't like karate and taekwondo. I think both of those are blown up self confidence. Like over and like I think it's good to help build a kid's self confidence, but I think it over gives overconfidence for kids, and they'll run into a fucking wrestler and they'll get their shit pounded. Well, I think they can handle a kid that's bigger than them that hasn't trained. like I think there's some technique that's involved, but when they run into somebody that's trained to fight somebody or to battle somebody, I think it's a totally different story. Like, no. Hmm. Yeah, you shouldn't. You don't want to punch people in the teeth. That cuts your fucking knuckles. Oh, gotcha. That's why you punch them in the nose. Yep. What don't you have in you? Yeah. Well, and like, and obviously I'm biased towards wrestling, but I mean, it's like they also go one-on-one competition of somebody who's trying to impose their will on them, and like just that mental confidence of like, cool, you want to do this, and just like I've done this. This is what I've been training. This is what I've been practicing. Like, yeah, sure, let's do it. Like, mhm, yeah, yeah. What are your thoughts on? Obviously, I think you did one thing, but when you have kids that are of age and they come up and say, let's say it's not even that done. They were sitting with their friend and some kid came up and pushed their buddy that they're playing with. What should they do? Even if they push their buddy? Okay. Well, what if they turn and then push you or punch you? Okay. You want to know what the school tells them they should do? Go find a teacher. My son said that there was a my son wasn't involved, but one of his buddies pushed one kid, and his buddy got up and pushed him. The kid punched him, so he took him to the ground. And he's like, well, he got in trouble. The one kid that was defending his buddy. And I'm like, well, yeah, he did. And he's like, well, that doesn't make any sense. I'm like, you're goddamn right, it doesn't make any sense. That's why sometimes when you do the right thing, you got to be ready to take the consequences. Yeah. Uh-huh. Well, well, that and like, I really don't like the thought of, well, go get a teacher. Like, instead of, standing your ground and defending yourself, go get a teacher. Like, fuck you, tell them to go get a teacher. Like, yeah, but it's just like, I 100% do not want to teach my kid that if somebody comes up and gets in their face to go try to find somebody to solve their problem. Like, no. Yes, be the solution. Yeah, yeah. Which is how it should be. What brothers are for. Back then, it was a fucking great story. What the fuck are you talking about? Yeah. Mhm. You. Oh, it was 100% Carlos. Really? I figured he would have been the talker and Carlos was the muscle. Just fucking punching doors. Well, and it's funny, like when it came to like fighting and stuff, like I've always been a bigger dude. And so people would want to talk shit to me, and I talked my fair share of shit. But I always had buddies that like would like step in and like try to do all the shit talking because they knew if they could get somebody to punch them, it would be handled. And so they would get in and like there was one time my one buddy, I wouldn't trust him to fucking beat up my 12-year-old. Like he was just like playing basketball with him, playing sports with him. He was just awkward. But I tell you what, he had the most overinflated self confidence when it came to that kind of stuff. And there was one time I was real drunk and talking shit, and these guys were like 4 years older than us. I think we were like freshmen at a party, and these guys came over, and all of a sudden my buddy, just out of nowhere, jumps up and starts talking shit to these guys and fucking punked three of them. And I'm just like, what the fuck just happened? Like, I thought for sure we were about to fight these guys. It was so weird. It was. It was fucking, like I said, and I wouldn't trust him to punch his way out of a paper bag. He's got a lot of hair. I'll tell you that much. He's Armenian, so he's just fucking covered in hair. Some of the craziest stories I have were with him and his family, though. I tell you what. Yeah. Yeah, the guy. Yeah. Oh, yeah, his family would always let us, like, he'd take me to their family get togethers. And it didn't, basically, once you turned 18, you were allowed to drink. And I think we even drank with him before then. And there was one time they were doing family toasts, because they're Armenian. So we're shots of vodka, drinking cheap wine. Fucking his grandpa, who was like 70 years old at the time, fucking got pissed drunk, started puking, because just kept doing shot after shot. He'd get up and say a toast and do a shot. 2 minutes later, he'd say another toast and do a shot. I'm like, what in the fuck is wrong with this food? I don't know if I want to be a 70-year-old man puking though. Well, I wouldn't say liver damage. I just don't want to be puking. I know how much my guts hurt at this point after puking. He did not. Yeah. My youngest, I bought them. Yes, I agree. There are age ranges where people don't give a shit. 0 to 5 and 75 to 90. The buckets just go out the window. Yeah. Yeah. My youngest was like, Dad, when can we play games with Thomas? And I'm like, well, he's out of town this weekend. Oh. Well, will he be back tomorrow? And I'm like, I don't think so, buddy. Oh. And I even bought him Battlefield, the actual game, for their Xbox. Yeah. He was being my youngest is being. It's funny the difference between kids because my youngest is super generous, and my oldest is a super tight ass with money. And the youngest is like going all out. He wanted to get his mom. He got his mom like something really expensive for Christmas. I don't know what he got me. He spent a bunch of money on his brother. Um, and I was like, some of this stuff I'll pay for, but I'm like, this isn't just free reign to go get whatever you want. Like you're old enough now, you get an allowance. You can spend your own money on some of this stuff. And he's like, yeah, I don't care. Wiped out all of his allowance. And then he's like, Dad, can I get Battlefield? I'll use my allowance. I'm like, buddy, you spent all your allowance now. Oh, yeah. But I want somebody to play Battlefield with. I'll buy it for you. Let's go. Yeah. Yeah. Apparently, Corn works at an old people's home. And he says he walks into rooms. It's insane how many times he's walked into a room and watched old people fuck in slow motion. I suppose that, I suppose they want to get it off, but it just takes extra time, you know? Does that happen? I I don't know how that stuff works, and I don't really care ever to. Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of them that really do. Mm, yeah, I would agree with you on that. I don't know. I always find it so weird because like growing up, and I mean even to this point, like I just see old people and I'm like, you should have had like figured out by now. But you don't realize that even morons make it to old age. And there's people out there who are 70 years old and owe $300,000 on a house and have leased vehicles and don't have a fucking penny to their name. And that just blows my mind. Yeah, like how you can go your entire life and just, I don't know, just never think of that future. And I think it's a lot of people that do it. Like, I think people that save for retirement are the vast minority. Save for retirement? Yeah. That's still really fucking low. I'm not fucking relying on that for shit. You 100% are. It's not. It's still government. Social Security does not come from the state, it comes from the federal government. Sounds like that's all government. No, I don't know. It's risky, man. Fucking risky. I mean, I'm not saying you're risky, but the people that do, like, just going to rely on Social Security. Like, they've been saying that for a long fucking time. Yeah. Oof. I had nachos. White people nachos. I did decide since you won't come up and do Mexican spuds with me that maybe I'll have to start a food truck on my own and I'll call it White People Tacos. Yeah. Do you know how fucking lazy people are? Mm, yeah, I mean, obviously it'll be a little fancy, but I thought the name was good. White People Tacos? I mean, because if I just tried to call it something, Mexican food, people would fucking be up in arms. But if I literally call it White People Tacos, I mean, they can't really get mad at that. Oh, nice. Yeah, yeah. I'm on book one. It's okay. I don't know. I thought that started pretty fucking hard. He's weak. I'm okay with him being weak. I'm saying like I don't know. I The fighting and combat hasn't been my style. Let's just say that. Which I get. I mean, I like the trickery of it, but I don't know. I'm hoping it changes. I'm hoping it evolves. And I'm like I said, I'm not super far. I haven't been listening a ton. It's just been a lot of times when I'm in the car, um, just random times here and there. Hopefully, I'll probably get really heavy into it on the trip coming up, just because I have a lot of time. See, and I fucking don't like that. I don't like. I love character development. Probably. Okay, yeah, I haven't met them. They just got to the school city. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna keep going. I've just been like I said, I've been a lot of times when I get into a new book like that, I like go all in and listen, 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 and I don't want and I like last time I got too much and I don't want to do that. So I'm just kind of trying to take my time, pace with it, and so okay. Oh, that's smart. Yeah, think and adapt, think and adapt, think and adapt. I could tell. The first time he said it, I was like, "Oh, that's going to be the theme of the book." Yeah, yeah, too much plot armor. Yeah, and that's probably one thing I love about Red Rising. I mean, there's these there was I mean in even the first book, you wondered if is this all going to be about Darrow? Like when Cassius fucking stabbed him, like he could easily have died. You know, I mean, and it wasn't like they. I don't know. I fucking love Red Rising. Okay. Well, you'll have to if you ever start reading the 2 Week Curse, you'll have to tell me about it because well, that's the one where they bring guns and stuff, and I thought they just did it really well because then they start incorporating the use of guns with the magic system and stuff, and it was and it. Mhm, mhm. The military tries to take it over. Yeah. Fuck yeah. It's not, but it kind yeah, you'll like it. I think it was a really good. It was at least the first few books were well done. It was a slow burn at the beginning, but it was really well done. So yeah, I've seen a lot of that, and I see some of the stuff, and like they're like talking about like the cat, and the cat was what I was like, nope, I'm out. And maybe it's my need to like be anti hip. Like I don't like to follow fads. Yeah, I don't like them. The only one I'm part of is Stranger Things. I believe that. Yeah. 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 Well, that I don't know. I like that's kind of where I'm at almost with this Mark of the Fool. Is it's like I don't want to just keep reading about the same kind of storyline. Oh yeah, which you can tell. I mean, he doesn't talk about mana or any. Well, he does talk about mana, but he doesn't talk about like his stats and like traveling to another world. Um, but okay. Which yeah, I don't know. Like if I'm gonna read a story, I don't want just somebody else's take on like the same storyline. Like I want a new story. Like that's like I don't. If I'm gonna read the Lord of the Rings, I'm gonna read the Lord of the Rings. I don't want to read somebody who just built another story within the Lord of the Rings realm. You know? Hmm. Okay. Oof. So it's fucking anime style fighting. Yeah. You don't you don't follow me because I'm the strongest. Finish it. Finish it. Finish it. No. That is not the case. And now that I'm reading this, I want to read Red Rising again. Oh yeah, that's a good one. See, I really dig um I'll build your house next to mine, but take your time because I'm no builder. Like just what an amazing way to end your life. Oh, for sure. For sure. Severo dealing with, leaving his kids. What up, Oz dog? Sorry, we're not playing Rocket League, but I have Thomas queefing as my personal sound effect on my MySpace channel. Drive safe, spoil them kids. I didn't say not to drive drunk.